Are you looking to buy a friction arm? Or do you already have one? Well, my opinion on these two arms. Hi, my name's Tracy and welcome to my channel. On my channel I review products that I actually use. Nothing is sponsored. Everything I buy out of my own pocket. Today I'm going to be doing a little bit different video than what you've seen on YouTube on articulating arms. I'm going to give you more of a technical view. I'm going to give you the anatomy of an articulating arm, how they work, so that you fully understand and can make a purchasing decision with knowledge. Because there's no box stores anymore. We can't go and pick something up and play with it. We have to order it online, bring it home, use it, send it back if it doesn't work, and if it does work, you keep it, and then make a video about it. So hopefully you'll learn something today. And oh, by the way, if you stay till the end, I'll show you how to fix the rotational problems on almost every one of these arms that you have. Thanks for tuning in. Enjoy. Friction arms. This is a friction arm. They're used to attach to frames, tripods, and any number of devices so that you can attach accessories to your camera equipment. These have actually been used in other industries as well. There's a company called Medtronic that actually developed the locating pins, and they use something called a Vertec arm in brain surgery. So the way this thing works is the wing, this is an articulation. That means it comes together. And in here you've seen other pictures I have of the teeth. When you open it up, it has teeth, and as you loosen it, the teeth release. And so this has 360-degree rotation. And then as you tighten this up, the screw brings the bottom articulation up to the teeth to where they will mesh. And they lock in and they will not turn. All of them are good at this point. They all do the same thing, lock very nicely, as long as it's a, well built. I mean, for less than $30, it's pretty good. Now, on the inside of the arm is a rod. There's one on this side, and it goes from this joint all the way up to the bottom of the ball, and it has a cup on it. Same thing on this side. So when you screw this down, there's a cam mechanism inside here. And as it tightens up, it pushes on rods that pushes against this ball head and this ball head at the same time. And that's what locks these down. So I'll loosen this up. This is loose. I'll turn the 90-degree angle down. This is loose. That's loose. They're all loose, so everything works well. When I tighten the arm up, everything locks into place, wherever you had it. So that's how the arms work. And the arms I'm showing you today are exactly the same from the socket to the socket. All the arm mechanism works differently. What's different is the way the screw and ball joint work. On this system, the SmallRig, the ball joint, or the ball in the ball joint, is attached to the screw permanently. I mean, it's integral to one, so as soon as you lock this down, the screw locks. You can't turn the screw with the knurled handle anymore. You would have to rotate the whole mechanism to get it to screw. And this will give you 360-degree rotation from the screw. So you can screw it, 360 degrees, this will turn when it's loose. So the screw and the ball are machined as one piece. The threaded, knurled, rotating knob on here will screw in and out like so to help you tighten this once the screw is in as far as it'll go. Positioning the weight of whatever you have attached to the arm behind the center of gravity. And I'll explain that in just a minute. That's what fixed everything. If you're enjoying this video, I'd appreciate it if you take a moment and click the like button. Now, this is the first YouTube video I've done, so there's no subscription to do here. But if you do that and hit the like button, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you so much for watching. So this is the Neewer. That's the company's name. It's not just because this is the most recent one I purchased, but the company's called Neewer. And this is their version of a articulating friction arm. And you can see it has different ends on it. And so what I want to show you here, this rotates. And as you can see, there's a bunch of holes in it. So it comes with an Allen key, hex key, whatever you want to call it, Allen wrench. And I find this very difficult to find in the bottom of my camera bag. There you go. So see, this rotates it. And you can really snug this thing down to whatever you're attaching it to. So I love my multi-tool. This one, the screw head on here that locks on, is actually totally separate from the ball and socket, which is this device here. These are locating pins, one here and one here. This has holes for the locating pins. What that accomplishes is you can lock this system down tightly. The locating pins keep it from moving one way or the other. Whereas the SmallRig system, which is the first one that I bought and used for quite a while, the screw on here is integral with the ball that's on the bottom of this, and you can see it inside this notch, and you're rotating the whole thing. Or you can let this dangle and then screw this device in here, but see how it wiggles? You can't keep it straight. That's the problem. One of the problems I had with this type of device. So it has a rubber O-ring on it, and the purpose of the O-ring is probably one, to help you not scratch the camera equipment, but two, it's supposed to give counter pressure to whatever it's screwed against, so it pushes back like a locking ring, like a locking washer, and so it'll to lock this thing in place. If this is on the left side of your tripod and you have it at all angled forward and you move around a lot like I do in flag football games, so it'll be angled forward with a monitor on it. I move around a lot, and occasionally, I'll bump the tripod to the ground as I move from place to place. It loosens the screw, and because it's a clockwise screw, and I have the weight going this way because my monitor is lowered down, it keeps going, and 3 times I've had this thing release and crash my expensive external monitor into my tripod. So I have a fix for that at the end of the video if you stick by. If I try and tilt my camera or move this arm while it's locked, because I don't want my camera to fall, I just need to tilt it, move it a little bit. See this nut, plastic nut? See how it rotates? Is what that's doing is it's loosening up the bond between here and here. The little rubber stopper didn't help at all with the pressure. So you have to be really careful when you're using this thing. And this device turning when I had to move my monitor back and forth, because I had my camera up lower, higher or lower, and I had to move the monitor. If I didn't loosen this up, that would unscrew, the monitor would fall over, which you see a picture of it at the beginning, and You break your monitor. Time for a new monitor. So this is my rig for recording football with an articulating arm. And then this happened during several games. The monitor fell because the screw loosened. After this third failure, I went back to my very first rig setup, which is this. This hot shoe device is also from SmallRig, and it's the first one that I ever used. The reason I don't like using this type of rig for football is because as the ball moves, as the plays move around, if they go off the video screen, I can't find them because the monitor's in the way. So when I move the monitor to the side, I can glance up and I can see exactly what's going on in the play while I'm recording. The clamping mechanisms both have a 1/4 inch threaded hole, and it also has a 3/8 inch threaded hole. The difference between the two is that the newer clamp has locating pinholes in it. Here we have a couple uses for the clamps. Table clamp, put on your tripod, add a flash to it, an off-camera flash. So as far as the clamps go, they're about the same. I took them, I've looked at them, you can see they look exactly the same with two differences. One difference is that the Neewer has a wing nut type on it, and the SmallRig has this little vice grip device on it. Now I understand, and I've seen them online, Neewer has also come up with newer handles on it. So this is their first generation. I haven't seen their third generation yet, but they do have one. I don't know what it looks like, because that's not what I bought a year or two ago. The other difference on the back side is, oh, look at this. The pad's coming off of the SmallRig already, and I hardly ever use it, the clamp. Okay, well, anyhow, so on the back sides of these, if you can see them, and I'll give you some close-ups, is that the Neewer has actually four locating pinholes in them. Makes it much sturdier. I'm very much a pro of the locating pins. Other than that, they're exactly the same. They probably came from the same manufacturer, and they just in China, and they just put different screw heads on them. Otherwise, they're the same. Fact is, the same can be said for the arms. Another thing you need to be aware of these arms is that when you release this, I mean, everything comes loose. And it's designed to do that. However, if you have an expensive piece of camera gear, you need to hold on to that top piece of gear before you loosen this up. Otherwise, it will fall. So after you've seen the pictures of my camera gear falling, a $400 monitor falling and hitting my tripod leg because this failed, let me show you how to fix yours if you own one. It's very easy. So I took the end that I'm going to put my camera on, and I went to the store, Lowe's, Home Depot, whatever, and I bought this 1/4 inch washer for a faucet. And guess what? It fits right on here with a little twisting. And it still leaves some thread out. I tried this out in the field. I put it on my tripod, mounted my monitor to it, and that thing stayed. As mentioned before, this is my favorite camera setup for sports photography. I'll turn around and let you look at it. You can see the articulating arm. So one of the key things I want you to take notice of with the zoom is here, focusing ring is here. So when I'm doing videography, sometimes I always have to reach my hand in through here And that's what happens to your monitor. The center of gravity is aligned from here to here. This is where most of the weight should be, or on this side if you're a left-hand camera mount. Take this monitor or whatever device you have and put it in front of your this way, which tightens the screw. With the flat washer on it that I installed, and I showed you a minute ago, and the monitor weight being towards you, the best solution for this is to mount this on the right side of the camera, if at all possible. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any screw holes on the right side of my camera. So the fix is to remove. I really tightened it down well. Take your C-clamp, your magic clamp, different companies call it different things, attach it to the end, and attach it somewhere, like to my arm. So you can see that I've attached it to my handle. And now I have the weight of the accessory, my monitor, on the tightening side of the center of gravity of the screw. So it's going to lock down and not fall forward. By moving the whole rig over to the right side of the camera, a safer place for it, it's allowing me easy access to my lens now. All articulating arms in the budget price range have very similar features to it, and they all have the same problem. I don't care whose they are. You go to the more expensive units, the ones that are over $100, they seem to work better. That is what you did not know about articulating arms. Let's go take pictures of something.